Hello, it's Judith here with this week's video. Have you ever said or done something to someone reasonably close to you that has haunted you for maybe some considerable time afterwards? I can remember doing this quite a lot at one time. Thankfully, I know how to handle it a bit better now, and I think with age I'm a bit better at not doing it, but we're never perfect. So you say or do something and it might even not worry you too much at the time, and then I've certainly woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning thinking, oh my goodness, oh, what did I say? Why did I say that? Why did I do that? And then, as many of you may recognise, there's an hour or so of going round and round and round and round, trying to think about it and decide what to do about it, or just worrying about it mindlessly. So, we're all human, as I say, and none of us are ever going to be perfect in any area of our life. It took me a while to accept that one. So, it happens. And what do you do about it? At the point at which you realise or think you've done or said something unkind to somebody else, what do you do about it? Well, obviously, if you realise it immediately and you get a reaction, hopefully you're going to deal with it straight away. If you realise it immediately and don't get a reaction, then when it comes into your head like some bomb going off, just stop and think, actually, it would have upset me, but I don't think it upset them. And it's perfectly okay at this point to just go and have a conversation. Say, I realised afterwards that that wasn't a very kind thing I said or did. I'm really, really sorry if it upset you. And the chances are you'll get, oh, no, it didn't worry me at all. No, that didn't bother me. Or they will be grateful that you've realised and come back and effectively apologised. So it doesn't need hours awake at night worrying about it. You can often just realise yourself that it hadn't caused any problems, or check with the other person and realise it hadn't caused any problems. Okay, so those are the easier ones. What do you do about the situations where you know they were upset and you couldn't do anything about it at the time, or you knew they were upset and it didn't dawn on you until later why they were upset, which both of those can happen, can't they? Okay, so it's worth then, if you can, standing back and looking at the bigger picture. Is this a person that you still want in your life? You know, some people are in our lives forever, if we want them to be. Even if they're family, they don't have to be. Sad but true. Some people come into our lives for a certain period of time for a certain reason, my belief. And then we're done and they're done. So it's worth standing back, as I say, and examining this relationship. And is it one that you want to continue with? Because often when we do or say something a little bit sharp, shall I say, it's because we're done with this relationship and we're done with this person. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the person. We've just moved on, and they may well have moved on as well. So in that case, what do you do? If you decide, actually, I don't, I know I said that because I am, I don't value this relationship anymore. So you can either immediately go to that person and say, I think we're done. And in some cases you may need to do that depending upon the relationship. And that is a difficult conversation to have. And I've got some really good news if you resonate with that, because joining us very soon in the Path to True Wellbeing, the CIC company, we have somebody who is going to be there to help you with difficult conversations. And there are lots more of those other than the ones we're talking about. Okay. You may just decide to let it die a natural death. So if you're the sort of person who feels they have to respond and they have to respond quickly, then don't. Maybe don't respond at all. Maybe leave it a few days or even a few weeks. I've had people come to me and say, you know, this person, I message them and they don't respond for weeks. And I always respond straight back to their messages. So maybe they're telling you something. So it's worth looking at it from the other side, but that's not what we're talking about today. So you can just gradually let it die through your inaction or slow action. If, however, this is a relationship that you want to keep and want to mend, and you believe you have broken it or damaged it in some way, then again, there is a difficult conversation to have. The best and easiest thing is to go and say, I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Either I don't know why I did or said that, or try to explain, but not excuse. I'm sorry. This had happened and I just took it out on you. And guess what? That's what we do. We are sometimes ourselves upset in some way, and we take it out on the people we believe can take it. So, you know, that's one thing you can do. You can go and say, I'm sorry, and not making it into a big excuse, but just say, this had happened and I'm sorry, you got the brunt of it. You got the end of it. Now, interestingly, we were just talking about looking at this from the other side. Watch what response you get. Because a good friend, even if you've hurt them quite badly, might say that. So when you say, I'm really, really sorry, and they said, well, it really did upset me. And you can then have a conversation about it and do your best to mend the relationship. If they sort of brush it off and say, oh, no, it doesn't matter, or if they react in some more, I'm going to say aggressive way, if they're a bit, well, how dare you talk to me like that, you know, I mean, who do you think I am, etc., etc., etc. It might be telling you something about the relationship, either the I don't care, yeah, I was upset, but, you know, I don't care, not in a nice way, or the anger or even tears may suggest perhaps that there is something wrong with the relationship that you need to do a lot of work on, or maybe that person really isn't interested anymore. So if you get the brushing it off or the anger, then maybe that is a person you don't want in your life anymore, or a person who doesn't want to be in your life anymore. Obviously, if you get the tears, that may just be a way of punishing you. It may be genuinely that because you're close, it upset them, and that upset has gone deep, in which case you again have to make a decision. Do I think they're doing it for effect, or do I think it's genuine? And if I think it's genuine, do I really care enough to put in the effort that needs to be put in? We all have or have had friends who I call energy vampires, who suck everything out of you when you're with them, or when you're talking to them, or even messaging them. And sometimes you've just had enough. Yeah, okay. But every time anything happens, you're in floods of tears, and I spend a long time bringing you back, and it just happens over and over again. Is that what I want in my life? Is that good for me? We do have to sometimes be what may appear a bit selfish and think of our own well-being. Is this relationship serving me? No. Okay. Just let it go. Right. I hope that's helped. As I say, help of a more specialised nature will be coming and available very, very soon, when we can get, I've got 2 new people joining the CIC, and they'll be up on the website very soon. And if it's more generic and you think I can help, or you just want to talk about it, then you know where I am. So that is me for this week. look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, take really good care of yourself. And remember, you matter. Your well-being matters. So look after yourself. Okay then.